guys, next time you're at Dollar Tree, grab some of these wooden crates. I'm gonna show you what you can do with them. For this project, I'm gonna use 2 wood crates and also 2 of these wood signs from Dollar Tree. Starting with my wood signs, I'm gonna remove the hangers. I'm gonna join the 2 boards together side by side by using some hot glue first. I'm just gonna add some hot glue very lightly. To give them extra hold, I'm gonna use some popsicle sticks. So what I'll be doing is adding some hot glue and some wood glue. I'll first apply the hot glue where the 2 boards meet, and then I'll add some wood glue to my popsicle stick and then place it on my board. Up at the top, the boards have those holes where the hangers were. So what I'm gonna do is cover the ones in the middle using some of this spackling. Dollar Tree carries these. I'm also gonna go down the center where the 2 boards meet. Next, using my sanding block, I'm gonna sand off the spackling. Next, I'm gonna add 2 wooden blocks to the back side of the 2 holes on the side, and I'll be applying some wood glue. The reason for that is I need for those 2 holes to have a little bit of extra wood. I'm gonna add some painter's tape so that the wood glue can adhere to the wood board. Next, I'm going to paint my wooden crates, and I'm going to be using some gray acrylic paint. I'll also be painting the second crate as well. And now I'm going to let the paint dry, and I'm going to move on to my board. I'll be using the same acrylic paint in the color gray. I don't have a name for it, and the reason is because I mixed it myself. I used a light gray and a little bit of black, and then I mixed it together to get this color gray. It's the next day now, so I've given enough time for the wood glue to harden, so now I'm going to remove the painter's tape. Now on the front side, you can see the pieces of wood peek through, and you'll understand why I needed this in just a bit. But first, I'm going to join the 2 crates together by applying some wood glue and some hot glue. Next, I'm just going to make a marking with my ruler where I'm going to be putting my crates. Next, I'm going to come in with some more wood glue and also some hot glue, and I'm just applying it along the side where I've made my marking. And now I'm going to place my crates over the glues. Next, I'm going to be using some of these peel and stick numbers from Dollar Tree. I'm just going to use them to stencil in the numbers. I'll be using a black Sharpie for that. Next, I'll remove these stickers. Next, I'll be going in with some black acrylic paint to fill in my numbers. And this is how it turned out. Now I'm going to use a new hanger for this board. I'm going to use some screws and also this chain right here. Now these pieces of wood are going to come in really handy when I drill in my screws. I'm going to start with the first screw there on the corner. And then drill in the next one on the opposite side. And now I have a much stronger hanger. Next, I'm going to add this small hook to the center of my board. I'm going to need to drill a small hole for my hook. I haul this battery operated lantern from Dollar Tree, so I'll be using this to hang it on my hook. And this is how it looks so far. Now I'm going to add some florals to my crates. I'm going to be adding some floral foam to my crates, but first I'm going to add some hot glue to the bottom. I'll be using some of these flowers. Now these are from the Bookcase from Dollar Tree. I just cut them down to size. And lastly, I'm just going to add them into my crates. And now you have this really nice house number lighted sign. And for this next project, I am going to use some of these blocks from the tower game and also some crates. Okay, so I'm going to start by hot gluing 3 pieces of those blocks. But I'm going to use my square to make sure that I line them up in a straight line. In total, I'm going to make 12 sets of 3. And this is how it'll look once you put all 3 blocks together. I'm just going to continue making my sets and just gluing the 3 pieces together until I have the total of 12. And here are my 12 sets of 3. And now I'm going to make 8 sets of 2. And here are now my 8 sets of 2. So now with these sets of 2, what I'm going to make is a frame. So basically it's going to be a square, and I'm going to be making 2 of them. I'll be using my square to make sure that they line up evenly. So I've put one against one side of the square, and then I've put the other one above, just like you see me do there, and now I've glued them together using some hot glue. And basically what I'm doing is just hot gluing these sections together until I complete one square. Now I'll be using my square for that to make sure, once again, that they're leveled and that they are a perfect square and that it's not off. Okay, so now I've completed one square frame, and now I'm going to make the second one, and these are the smaller squares that I'm going to be using to create this plant stand. Okay, so here I'm going in slow motion. I just want you to see how I hot glued the sections together, just in case my instructions didn't make sense. Okay, so now I have my 2 square frames, and now I'm going to make 2 rectangular ones. For those, I'm going to be using the 12 sets of 3. And it's these right here. So what I'm going to do is place those 2 sets together this way, and I'm going to join them together by hot gluing them. And I'm going to continue joining 2 sets together until I'm completely done with all of them. Okay, so once I've glued all my sets together, now I'm going to arrange them how I'm going to glue them all together. And by gluing all these sections together, it'll give me the rectangle frame. Okay, so here are my 2 rectangle pieces, and then here are my 2 smaller square pieces. Next, I'm going to take my sanding block and I'm just going to sand my frames. I want to make sure that the surface is nice and smooth. And now I'm ready to spray paint them with the black spray paint. So I'll spray one side, and then once that's dry, I'll flip them over to the back side and spray that side. The next thing that I'm going to do is give my crates a gray whitewash. So what I'm going to do is add some of that acrylic paint on a pan, and then I'm going to spray some water because I want it to be nice and watered down. I'll be using a beauty sponge just to sponge on the paint. Now you could leave the crates just with that natural color and they would look really nice, but I did want a little bit of grayish tone to them, so that's why I decided to do a whitewash. Once I was done adding the whitewash color to them, I went ahead and I set them out to dry for about 3 or 4 hours. Okay, so the paint has dried on my frames, and this is how they turned out. And this is how the crates turned out. Okay, so I'm going to start assembling my stand together, and I'm going to start off by first hot gluing the small square to the front of the crate as you see me do there. I went ahead and I put some hot glue on the center line of the crate, and then I placed my square right in the center of the crate. And because they're both wood, it really holds well with the hot glue. Okay, so now that this side is done, I'm going to repeat the same step to the opposite side. And the first little stand is complete. And now for the taller stand, I'm going to be using the rectangle frames, and I'll be gluing those frames onto the second crate. So the taller stand is now finished, and now here is the smaller one. And now I'm going to join those two together. Okay, so I'm pointing where I'm going to be adding some hot glue because that is where I'm going to join them together. So basically I'm just adding hot glue to the smaller back side of the stand and then bringing it to the front side of the taller stand. And this is how it's turning out so far. Next, I'll be adding some floral foams into my crates, and I'll be hot gluing them. And here I just want to show you the different flowers that I'll be using. Some of these are from last year, and then some I just purchased not too long ago at Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to fill my little crates with them. I'm also going to be adding these little wood cuts to my crates, and these are called laser cut craft icons. And what they are is little birds, and I think they're so pretty. So I'm going to be putting a bird on each one of my crates, and I'm just going to hot glue them to the front. And now I'm just going to cut the flowers off their stem and then just stick them inside my little crate. And then once I'm done with the bottom crate, I'll move on to the top one. Well, that's it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up and also share. I'd really appreciate it. Well, until my next video, bye-bye and God bless.